Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we're back with another LFA predictions video on the channel. Today giving my predictions for LFA 207, Lewis versus Miranda. Now, last week's card was LFA 206. I gave my predictions for you and we did so well. We literally got a clean sweep on the whole card up to the main event. I was so proud of it. I was like, damn, we've done so well. Then, the main event let it down. I picked Greenwell. They lost to like the Lebos Nayani guy, but I'll still take it as a win because we got a lot of picks right. But moving on to this week, it looks a fun card. I'm looking forward to giving my predictions for it. But before I do that, make sure if you guys are new around here and you enjoy this content, you go down below and hit the subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So on this card, we've got 11 fights, but one of them's amateur. So we're going to kick things off with the first prelim of Jordan Oliver versus Caleb Ramirez. Now, I like Jordan Oliver, 2-0 fighter. He's pretty good. I mean, he's winning his first fight in Bellator, then winning PFL. One by submission, one by decision. I like him. He looks pretty good. He is fighting pretty easy opponent here. I mean, it's kind of a layup for him. 2-4 fighter Caleb Ramirez is on a one fight winning streak. To be fair, his last win was by submission, but before that he was on a 4-fight losing streak. Got finished 3 times in there as well. So I think this is an easy pick. I'm really going to go with Oliver to get this job done, and I reckon Oliver gets this submission. Now, moving up the cards to Cara Greenwell versus Leslie Hernandez. Now, Leslie Hernandez, obviously, she was on the Contender Series in her last fight. I think it was last year. She lost to a split decision. But so, not the worst performance really, but didn't get the win there. But before that, she was on a 4-fight winning streak in the LFA, which got her onto the Contender Series. And she looks pretty good in this. She had 2 finishes by KO, 2 wins by decision as well. And both her only losses in her career have been by split decisions. So make of that what you will. Her opponent, Cara Greenwell, only had 2 fights on her record. She's 1-1 in total. Lost the last fight by submission. Won her first fight by KO. So she's not the worst fighter, but I don't think she's at the level of Leslie Hernandez is. I mean, she's coming off like a close fight on the Contender Series. So I'll go with Hernandez to get the decision. Now, moving up the cards to Dazhamal Mavliudov versus Jordan Tague. I'm going to butcher every name. Let's be real. I always butcher the names. But Mavliudov is 4-0 undefeated fighter. Looks pretty good. I like him. All of his wins have been by finish in his career. Won his last fight by KO in round 1. He's had a few submissions. Well, 2 submissions. 2 wins by KO as well. He looks pretty decent. His opponent, Jordan Tague, is also undefeated, 2-0. One of his wins coming by KO, the other by decision. So both of these fighters do look pretty good. No losses on their record, but I am going with Mavliudov to get the job done. I mean, I feel like he's looked pretty impressive. 4 fights, 4 finishes. I like the look of him, and I think he's going to get the submission. Now, moving up the card too. Anza Khamzaev versus Abasov. Now, this looks a fun little fight here. Anza Khamzaev is 19 years old. He's very young, 2-0 in his fights. I mean, he's won both of them by submission in rounds 1 and 2. So he looks a pretty decent prospect there. Very young fighter. He's coming up against a very hard opponent though here in Abasov, who is 4-0 from Turkmenistan. I'm pretty sure he's in like the camp of that Yag Shamuradov, who beat like Imbe Kasanyane or something like that, because he's also Turkmenistani. He won his last fight by submission. He's got a few wins by submission, to be fair, and a few by decision in his career. He looks pretty good. I do like him. He's got some decent wins against some like half decent opponents as well. Abasov. So it is a very tough matchup for Khamzaev. I can see both these guys winning, to be honest. Both these guys are pretty dangerous by submissions and stuff. But I do think this is a very tough matchup for the 19-year-old. So I'm going to go back in Abasov to get the decision. Now, moving up the card too. Christian Natividad versus Micah Haas. Now, I think I might have seen some of this fight's cancelled. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to give my prediction for it anyways, just in case I read that wrong. But Natividad is 6-0. Very good fighter here. I like the look of him. He has got 4 of his wins by decision, but 2 of them by KO as well. He's got some decent wins as well in his career. His last 4 fights have been by decision, and then his first 2 were by KO. Micah Haas is also 6-0, so both these guys sharing the same record here. Also looks pretty good. I mean, basically the same fighter. Really, he's got 5 wins by decision, 1 by KO. So it's probably a decent matchup, this one. He won his last fight in by decision in LFA. So I could see this being a good fight. This one, both guys undefeated, 6-0. Good prospects here, but I'll be backing Christian Natividad to get this done. I like his fighting style now. I think he's good, and I feel Natividad is going to get the decision. Now, moving up the card too. Nikita Kulshin versus Rudson Caliocane. Now, Caliocane is a Brazilian man, 9-3 record. Did lose his last fight by KO, but was on a 2-fight winning streak before that with some decent wins, to be fair. He's had quite a few finishes in his career. 3 wins by submission, 2 by KO, but he has been submitted and KO'd as well in his career. Whereas his opponent hasn't lost a fight. Kulshin is 6-0, undefeated Russian man. Means Russian, there's many undefeated Russians, to be fair. Only 25 years of age as well, so he's still got time ahead of him. He's 3-0 in LFA at the minute. Won by round 1 KO, then his last 2 fights have been by decision, so he looks a pretty decent fighter. Fought some decent opponents as well in the LFA, so I'm going to be backing the undefeated guy. I can't really not. I like Kulshin, and I think Kulshin is going to get the decision. Now, moving up the card too. Bryce Logan versus Landry Ward. Now, Bryce Logan, he's back in the LFA. He's 35 years old now, 13-8 record. He obviously was in the LFA back in 2020. He had the title, I think, at some point. Then he left to Bellator, didn't do too well, lost 4 times, won once by KO. I think he got KO'd twice as well in the Bellator, and then he's been boxing for a little bit. In his last 2 fights, he's beat some random guys in boxing. But now he's back in the LFA, fighting Landry Ward, who is 8-3, younger fighter, 28 years old. Looks a decent fighter. He has lost his last 2 fights by decision, but before that, he's had some decent wins, to be fair. He had 1 win in LFA, then lost his last 2. So, both these guys haven't had the best run in MMA recently. I mean, Bryce Logan's done decently in boxing, but he hasn't been fighting the best opponents, really. So, I can see this going either way, really. Not too sure, but I'm going to be backing Ward to get this done. I feel like he's the younger fighter. Logan's been, I don't know what he's been doing recently, not been great. So I'm going to go with Ward to get the KO. Now, moving up the card too. Cheyanne Bowers versus Elizabeth Rodríguez. Now, Cheyanne Bowers, I remember I picked against her, against Borisova, and she proved me wrong. She got a really good win there. I think she took Borisova's O and gave her a first loss and got a round 1 submission, which was really good. Then lost a belt against Shannon Clark in her last fight by split decision. So that was a bit unfortunate for her, but I still like Cheyanne Bowers. Very dangerous by submissions and stuff. So she's a good fighter. Elizabeth Rodríguez, on the other hand, 3-3 record, Mexican woman. She's lost all her 3 fights by decision. She's won her first fight in the LFA back last year by split decision. So I don't think she's a bad fighter, but I think Cheyanne Bowers is a really good fighter. So I'm going to be backing Bowers to get the decision. Now, moving up the card too. The co-main, Mitchell McKee versus Greg Fischer. Now, Mitchell McKee, very exciting man, 8-0. Pretty good fighter. 5 wins coming by KO, 3 wins by decision. I mean, he was in LFA and then he went to some different promotion, but he's still been winning. He's still keeping up the record. He's pretty good. I mean, he started off his career with many wins by KO, but he's had quite a few more decisions recently, so he's going the distance a bit more. His opponent Greg Fischer, on the other hand, 12-3 fighter, on a 2-fight winning streak in some different promotions, CFFC. Lost to Jimmy Flick back in LFA when you see it, where he lost twice. Lost to Jimmy Flick by submission, then lost to Ricky Camp by split decision. Does have some half decent wins though. Beat Carlos Vera, so he's pretty decent fighter. 6 wins by decision, 5 wins by submission. I like the look of him, but I don't think he's at the level of Mitchell McKee is. Mitchell McKee is class at 8-0 undefeated. So I'm going to back in McKee to get the decision. Now moving up the card too. The main event, Richie Lewis versus Richie Miranda. Now, it's surprising they've got the same name, to be honest. Richie versus Richie. Doesn't happen very often for titles. But Richie Lewis, 6-0. Like him a lot with the belt, I think he's defending. Just beat Keegan Grenrich by decision in his last fight, who I actually picked to beat Lebosnian last week, which didn't go well. But they're all interconnected somehow, these fighters. But yeah, he came to the LFA, won the belt off Greenwell. He looks pretty good. I mean, he's had 4 wins by decision, 2 wins by KO, no losses, of course. Richie Miranda, on the other hand, Richie Miranda is also a good fighter, 10-1, means only lost once, and that was to Keegan Greenwich, who we've just talked about. Well, he keeps popping up a lot to this guy. But he lost a split decision to Keegan Greenwich, so do MMA math there. Richie Lewis wins, but MMA math never works, I've got to say. But since that loss, he's gone a 4-fight winning streak, 3 of them by decision, 1 win by round 1 KO as well. He's got some decent wins as well in there. I like Miranda. He's quite an exciting fighter, but I think this is going to be a really exciting fight. Both these guys are really good fighters, so I'll be looking forward to it. I will be watching, and I reckon Lewis is going to get the job done. You know, I reckon probably is going to be better than Miranda, probably going to wrestle him a bit, and I reckon Lewis is going to get the decision. So there are my picks for LFA 207. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that's going to be all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, maybe leave a like, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.